Hi, I'm Ying Liu. I'm a research associate faculty in the Wilmer Eye Institute at Johns Hopkins University. I've received the 2025 PhRMA Foundation Faculty Starter Grant in the Translational Medicine. Back in my medical school, when I was doing the ophthalmology rotation, I remember seeing those patients struggle with very ordinary things, like looking a book or driving a car. So for the first time, I just understood that vision loss isn't just about seeing less clearly. It actually changes how people live, how independent they feel, and how they get connected with the world. So that experience stayed with me during my PhD and postdoc research, where I get fully understand the retina. This very thin but complex tissue is just like a delicate antenna inside the eye. When it works, you can see the world, but when it fails, everything slowly fades. To explain my research, let me start with something simple. Imagine that one day you wake up, you pick up your phone, and you find that the text is not clear. And then you blink and try again, and it's still very blurry. For many patients with the retinal degeneration, that's how it begins. And the frightening part is that by the time people notice anything, actually the disease might have been progressing for years. So the big question here is, could the retina be sending out warning signs long before somebody can sense anything is wrong? And could we learn to listen? We find that retinal cells can release small vesicles. They are like tiny packages carrying the signals, protein, and the RNAs. They are far too small to see without a special equipment, but their impact can be huge because at the very early stage of the disease, their content can begin to change. It's like a retina's first whisper. But listening to that whisper isn't easy because we can't just take samples directly from someone's retina. So we turned into another approach. We collect the patient's own cells and grow them into what we call mini retina. These mini retina can behave and degenerate like a human retina. We collect the tiny vesicles from this mini retina, and we ask 3 key questions. First, where do they come from? And second, what's inside them? And third, where do they go? By answering these questions, we may be able to change the diagnosis and the treat for the retinal diseases. For example, we may be able to detect the degeneration years before the vision starts to fade. We may uncover the molecular signals that might actually drive the disease, and then we can learn how to stop them. And maybe even one day we can use these tiny vesicles themselves as a therapeutic carrier to keep our vision safe. So to me, this project isn't just a scientific problem. It's about protecting one of the most precious ways people experience their world, our ability to see. So the PhRMA Foundation Award comes at a very critical moment in my career. The data collected here will be very central to my first R01 application. And as an early career researcher, we often have the fresh ideas but very limited resource to pursue them. So support like this will determine whether a promising direction can become real in the future. So this funding isn't just funding one project, it's more like planting seeds for new discoveries that may help people for many years to come. One moment truly shaped my path was meeting an older gentleman with retinal degeneration. He was incredibly optimistic, but when he spoke about his family, his eyes began to tear up. He told me what weighed on him most wasn't losing his own sight, but instead it's the fear that his children or grandchildren might one day live with the uncertainty he faced. It's like waking up every day not knowing how much more their vision will fade. That moment hit me deeply. I just started realize that waiting until the late stage may simply too late for many people. So I began to studying early distress signals sent by the retinal vesicles. The patient will probably never know how much his story shaped my path, but it reminded me of something very important. Science is not just about building up new technologies, but it's also about answering the hopes and fears of people we serve. First, I love the feeling of discovery. The retina holds so many mysteries, and every experiment feels like you opening a small door to a new world that you haven't seen ever before. And what also keeps me going is the possibility that our finding can hopefully someday help the real people. And I'm also deeply fulfilled by mentoring the young scientists, watching them grow, seeing their excitement when something finally works. All of these things make me feel that every day is worth it. I want to become a clinician scientist who can help bridge the gap between the medicine and the science. I hope one day I can stand right in the middle of that bridge to develop new ways to detect the retinal disease earlier than ever before, and maybe developing novel therapies that intervene before damage becomes irreversible.